Hi everyone, we have with us Abro Bhowmik. He's a graduate from Jadavpur University in the field of instrumentation and electronics. He passed out in 2016, worked for 3 years approximately, uh, and right now he's going to join MDI Gurgaon. He has cleared many colleges. I mean, you name it, he has cleared it. So he has got admission to NITI, he has got admission into IIM Lucknow Sustainable Management Program. He has got admission to IIM Shillong, new IIMs, baby IIMs, including IIFT and Narsi Monji. So yes, so he has cleared many exams and he has got admission to many. So he's spoiled for choices. And among all this, he's planning to take up um, MDI Gurgaon. His pass is that he's got a 98.7 percentile in the CAT examination. Also, he scored a 98.5 in the IFT exam and a 214 in NMAT. Okay, so based on this, let's try to learn from him how did he prepare and what did he go about it. So Abro, how do you feel about joining MDI Gurgaon?
So first of all, thank you for that lovely introduction. And so, to be honest, it feels great. I really put in a lot of effort and a lot of hard work, and not just about MDI Gurgaon, but I think purely because of this reason, every single conversion has been very special to me. So I'm very happy about my conversions, and obviously thankful to God for the same.
I'm sure students would want to know how did you go about preparing for the whole exam because you cleared the CAT exam. So how did you go about preparing? And especially when you are working and preparing. So can you brief us through the whole process?
I started the preparation somewhere around February, March. And if I were to look back to February, March 2019, I would definitely say that I was sort of poor in VRC, poor in LRDI, and somewhat okay in quants. So to pick myself up from that level to an eventual 98.7, that required a lot of hard work. I had a rigorous schedule. So I would, in the initial months, February, March, April, I basically practiced the sums. And I wrote my first mock somewhere around mid-May. And my schedule was something like I used to wake up at 6:30, 6:45 in the morning. I would write a mock at 7, and it would continue till 10. By 10:45, I would leave for office. I would reach office at around 12:05, 12:10, and I would return in the 9:30 shuttle back home. That is when I would join your night classes while on shuttle. And after all this, I would then finally doze off, sort of reading something uh, casual. And while transit, I would try to extract 1 more hour by reading the editorials and the opinion pages of the Hindu. So this was basically my schedule. I initially made it a point that I would sort of, I'm talking about VRC first. So I initially made it a point that I would read the editorials and the opinion pages of Hindu almost every day because I don't have a reading habit. So for people like me, I found it a little challenging initially because the editorials are very well written, and you need to sort of have a tendency of reading in order to be able to comprehend all those worded stuff and all. And if you think about it, in CAT 2019 also, the passages that appeared, they were a little tough in the sense when we compare it in terms of vocabulary or the comprehension part per se. So I think that somewhere helped me a lot, the reading habit. And I've noticed one more point regarding VRC, that is sort of during July, August, I sort of felt burnt out while reading this thing every day, every single day. And that is where my mock scores also sort of started falling down. So after that, I had to pick myself up again. And I made it a point that I would read till I reach my till I write my final exam. So that is the overall picture of VRC. Um, right. So in VRC, particularly, one aspect that I would like to add, apart from what I've already said, is that not to give a lot of focus on the mugging up vocabulary words, that aspect. So in the editorials, there would be many words that I didn't find, that I didn't know what they actually meant, but I sort of drew a conclusion or inferred from the context. So that also helped me a lot. And yeah, this is what I wanted to add regarding DRC. For the LRDI part, I believe all of us start solving. We start our preparation in LRDI using the circular arrangements, the normal seating arrangement sort of questions, the blood relations and all. And unfortunately, I don't think these questions come too often nowadays in CAT. So I remember when I wrote my first mock in somewhere mid-May, I got a 12 in LRDI, and it was not that I didn't practice a lot. I did practice, but I put in a lot of effort. But somewhere in May, I realized that puzzle is just a very small aspect of the entire breadth of LRDI. So what really worked for me is that I sort of I tried to familiarize myself with as many variety of problems as possible. So I obviously got a lot of support from my mentors, and they actually taught me how to sort of prepare in LRDI. I was clueless, and uh, I realized that there are other aspects. There is calculation-based questions, there is optimization questions, there are questions on Venn diagrams, and there are miscellaneous questions which sometimes appear intimidating but are pretty simple. And when you sort of see the entire gamut of questions, all the possibilities, I actually felt a lot more confident. So I remember even in slot 2 in CAT 2019, I solved two sets which looked pretty intimidating. The one on the rainfall part, where there was this scatter diagram set, and the other on the percentage set. But these involve very simple calculations. So if you are someone who has only done arrangement, or who has only done has put in a lot of effort in a fixed part, he would not attempt these simple questions, these sort of questions, and maybe lose marks over it. So this is all that I have to say for LRDI. It's very important that you practice a wide variety of problems, and then sort of develop your own strategy.
So you were stronger in the quant section. So anything specific you did for quant, or you focused on VA and LR? Yeah.
So if I were to look at my marks, my mock scores in quants, it would always be hovering around that 60. So I would score 55, 54, 58. Eventually, I scored a 59 in CAT 2019. So since I come from an engineering background, my inclination is to look at the question and start solving it. So I am not someone who is comfortable with mental math. And I remember when I first attended your class, I found it to be pretty intimidating. Like you would draw a time and distance problem, and you would say that it is not possible for this person to arrive here before this time. So you would eliminate all the other options, and you would circle around and to that correct option. But my tendency was always to find that particular answer and then mark it. So this is something that I really learned from you. And basically, it is basically the application of logic in quants, which is your way. So um, this helped me in time and distance, helped me in progressions in series. This helped me a lot in inequalities, in algebra questions.
So
Apart from
how many mocks did you solve? So you are preparing for this. How many mocks approximately did you solve in the whole series? And what do you think? What is important, mocks or practice?
So I would say it would be wise for someone to strike a balance between these two things, because let's look at the one extreme part. If someone who is not practiced enough and is directly writing the mocks, he or she is bound to score low, and that might become sort of demotivating. So I would suggest in the initial months sort of practice. The practice questions also in any standard material is classified in level 1, 2, and 3. So I would suggest people to at least go through the level 1 and level 2 if possible, and then write the mocks. I wrote total 40 mocks, 41 mocks. I even remember the numbers. So I wrote 4 mocks each in May, June, July. And then in August and September, I increased the number of mocks to 8. So I doubled the number of mocks that I took. And then again in September and October, and then again in
October, November.
during that, in October, November, I sort of was around six mocks per. I wrote 6 mocks per month. So total it's 12 and 16, 28, and then again 12, 40. So
as in when you came closer to the examination, like the last week or the last couple of days, did you do anything special or what was it? How did you manage your preparation?
Before the week of the D-Day, which was I think 24th of November, I sort of revised the quant questions. I didn't really do much of LRDI, and reading is something that I did religiously, and particularly also during Rochelle ma'am's class, ma'am would also give us an essay every day to sort of write the gist of it, which is basically to identify the main idea and trying to filter out the unnecessary details and all. So that process also helped me a lot throughout my preparation, because that helps you, that sort of you are supposed to read in that case every day. So I read every day. And LRTI I didn't do much. I revised quants, the concepts and all. But one day before CAT, I didn't do much. I relaxed. I'm going to be honest, I don't think I could relax a lot, but I sort of forcefully didn't do anything. I didn't do anything that would be taxing.
Okay, in the exam, were there any surprises in the CAT examination? So, or did it go as per your plan?
So one thing that I really am happy that I did is I didn't listen to the slot one reactions. So I wanted to enter the exam with a clean slate, and for me, CAT has always been a 4-hour exam. So they make you sit 1 hour before the exam, and that sort of felt like all the 5 lockdowns combined. That 1 hour, I'll be I'll be honest with you, that is probably the most irritating part of the entire process. And over there, I didn't lose my calm. So I remember I sort of dozed off. I dozed off and I took a 20-25 minutes nap. And when I woke up, I felt fresh and I was not scared. There, the tension is palpable. I mean, it is evident in the competitors' faces that everyone is tense. But somehow that sleep, that 20-25 power nap, whatever you call it, that helped me. And I was not afraid at all. When I wrote the first section, when I wrote VRC, I knew that VRC has been difficult this year. So that I knew. But I always had this in the back of my mind that it is going to be difficult for all the other 2 lakh or whatever aspirants. For them, it's the same thing also. So I didn't think much about all these outputs or all these possibilities that may happen. I sort of focused on the inputs. So as soon as VRC was over, I sort of went to LRDI. LRDI also initially I had to struggle a little bit, but then fortunately I found those 2 sets and then solved another set on language. I think there was this selection sort of a problem, selection sort of a set on language. And so that was about LRDI. I attempted those easier sets first, the first 2 sets, and after that I attempted that another set on languages, which was basically a selection sort of a set. Again, this is where the fact that I had done familiar sets and I was aware of this classification, so that sort of helped me. I don't think anyone finds a common set in CAT, but you do find familiar sets. So that is how it is. And after that, it was quants. So quants, in the initial half an hour, I would at least go through every question and I would attempt the easiest ones possible. So usually 1/3 of the entire question paper is easy. So by the time the first 30 minutes were over, I had classified my questions into easy, medium, difficult, and I solved the easier ones. after that, I moved towards the medium questions. I didn't solve all of them. I sort of took inspiration from you, so I didn't solve all of them. I sort of did the other thing, the logical aspect of it, and I attempted 23. I got 20 correct. Uh, Two were theta, one was a normal MCQ question, so I got a 59 score over there. After the exam, I knew that I did well. I had a good feeling about it.
Okay, you also did well 1 week after for the IFT exam. Did you do anything specific for IFT?
Sir, not really. I mean, I just practiced the previous year question paper.
That is
And
after the CAT. You did everything after the
after
CAT.
CAT.
Okay.
After CAT. So my entire preparation revolved around CAT. So once CAT was over, I thought about IFT.
Anything with GK
And
for IFT? Did you do anything GK for IFT as such specific?
I got a 5.5 in GK. So, sir, this is my honest opinion. I attempted 55 questions in IFT. I got 54 of them correct. So I think I was sort of lucky also, because
Okay.
I don't think this level of accuracy would be possible again. So,
There's no luck. I'm sure it's your hard work. You also wrote and you got 214 in NMAT. So how did you manage to prepare for NMAT?
so I had decided that I would write NMAT only once. So I thought that I'm not going to write it before CAT. I'm not going to write it in between CAT and IFT. So I kept it for after IFT. Between IFT and SNAP, there is this 1 week gap between IFT and SNAP. So I think it was a Wednesday or something like that. For NMAT, I did nothing. I literally did nothing for NMAT. I just knew that there is no negative marking in NMAT. And I would like to point out one fact that I have a score of 214, which is not too great. I mean, it's 210 is the cutoff. But I think there is a lot of focus and importance given to the subsequent stages also, that is the interview stage and also. Even if you're not doing very well in the initial marks, in the initial exam written test, if you do well in the interview, you have a good chance of a cutoff. So I had a 30 all in the rank that they gave out, merit rank. So I
Which is
know
very high, huh?
so I know that at least NMIMS Mumbai gives a lot of importance on the case discussion part and the personal interview part.
Perfect. Great. Any tips, any tips that you want to give to students who are going to prepare for CAT this year?
Tip number one would definitely be reading every day. I've observed it in my mocks that whenever I used to sort of take a break from reading, my scores would dip, and whenever I would continue reading, my scores would go up. So I don't know exactly how this thing works, but this is something that has happened with me. So that is one part. Second part would be to always analyze your mock after you take a mock, and to never go to a second mock without fully analyzing the first mock. So I have individual copies and all for each of my mocks. I've sort of analyzed them in great detail and all, and that really helps. It is going to be an incremental progress. It is not going to be like it won't happen in a day or something. It will be an sort of an incremental process, but it is helpful. The third point would be third aspect would be to sort of not worry too much about the other things. As in, many people were worried about their low profile and low scores and all. But my idea is that if you don't get a high percentile, it is going to be difficult for you to even get a call. So at least till 24th of November or whichever day CAT is this year, put your entire effort and focus on the written test.
Perfect. Thanks, Abro. Thanks for giving your time, and all the best for your 2 years at MDI.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Perfect. Cool.